Lesson 8-7, Solving Inequalities by Adding or Subtracting. The main idea of this lesson is to be able to solve inequalities by using the addition or subtraction property of inequality. So first we're going to cover what exactly is the addition or subtraction property of inequality. And that property states that when you add or subtract the same number from each side of an inequality, the inequality remains true. So this is the same as what applies to when we're working with equations or things that have an equal sign in them. If you add or subtract the same number from both sides, it's going to remain true. So let's start with an example. We're going to solve this. N minus 8 is less than 15. So we're going to ask ourselves the three questions that we always ask ourselves. What number's on the same side as the variable? What operation's going on and what's its opposite? So what are you going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide from both sides? Because those questions that we ask ourselves for equations can also be applied to inequalities. So I'm going to start by asking myself what number's on the same side as the variable? 8. What operation's going on with it? Subtraction. And then the opposite of that is addition. So that means that you're going to add 8 to both sides of this inequality. Minus 8 plus 8 cancels out, and I'm going to have n is less than 15 plus 8 is 23. So that means in order to make this inequality true, you can have any number as long as it is less than 23. So that means 22 would make this inequality true, 20 would make this inequality true, -4 would make this inequality true, but 23, or any number bigger than it, will not make this inequality true. And I applied the addition property of inequalities because I added the same number to both sides, and it remains a true inequality. Here's the last example that I'm going to do with you. -4 is greater than or equal to a plus 7. So again, I'm going to ask myself the questions. What number is on the same side as the variable? 7. What operation is going on to that? Addition. The opposite of that is subtraction. So that means that I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. These two 7s cancel out. So I'm left with a on this side of the inequality. And over here we have -4 minus 7. So if I rewrite this as addition using the same add opposite rule, that means the -4 is going to stay the same. I'm going to change my subtraction to addition, and I'm going to change the 7 from being +7 to -7. Since these have the same, since these are both negative, I know my answer is going to be negative, and I just add these two together, the absolute values. 4 plus 7 is 11. So -4 minus 7 is -11. So that means the solution to this inequality is -11 is greater than or equal to a. So that means if I wanted to pick a number to make this inequality true, it would have to be smaller than negative or equal to -11. And we applied the subtraction property of inequalities here because we subtracted the same number from both sides of the inequality and it remained true. So that's all there is to solving inequalities with addition or subtraction. They work pretty much the same way as solving equations that have addition or subtraction solving equations that have addition or subtraction in them. You just have to remember to write the inequality sign instead of the equal sign.